Ahoy there, cruise nerds. Welcome to my channel, DCL Cruise Nerd. My name is Megan and I am your host. Today we will be going over the breaking news of the day. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the breaking news of today. So the main topic is the cruise ships are on the move. So the Disney Wonder, she has been the most active, I should say, of the 4 ships. She has been going back and forth between Dover, England, and Brest, France. And I think she's either has been picking up crew and getting them to other ships, like the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy, or she was picking up supplies and taking them over to the ships. What was going on with that? Now, on Saturday the 14th, she left Dover, and she's actually going to arrive in Funchal, Portugal on Wednesday, so tomorrow, on the 18th. So I think she's going to be arriving mid to early evening tomorrow. So hopefully she has a safe journey to Funchal and arrive very safely with the crew on board. Now, the Disney Magic, she actually arrived back in Dover, England. She has been hanging out at the coast of the Netherlands. So what she's doing there, not 100% sure, unless they brought some crew via the lifeboats to the ships. But I highly doubt that, but that's just a speculation. Now, the Disney Fantasy, I will have to say I have now been corrected since my last video. So what happened is, in my last YouTube video, I thought that she finished her dry dock and she was just going ahead and testing the waters, make sure everything looks good to go. But she actually just finished her dry dock a couple of days ago, and she is now headed to Southampton, United Kingdom. So hopefully, you know, something is going to be going on well over there. Maybe crew is coming on board, or crew might be leaving. They might be replaced. So let's see on that. Now, the Disney Dream, she's been hanging out at Brest, France. So she hasn't been doing much activity. So maybe she's just going to hang out there until she is ready to have crew on board and then come to Port Canaveral. So hopefully we will see something there. So that's pretty much it on the cruise ships portion of breaking news. Let's go ahead and talk about the 2020 State of the Port meeting that happened last Thursday. So CEO and Captain of Port Canaveral, John Murray, now he led the meeting and he did a fabulous job. He always does. Now, he talked about the different procedures that they have put in place back in February and March about like social distancing, sanitation procedures, things like that. So making sure that everything is up to code with CDC guidelines. Now, the other 2 items that he talked about was Terminal 3, which looks like they finally completed that, and is all set to go for cruise ships and to come and port in her and bring guests aboard. Now, possibly Disney might be using that terminal when Disney starts back up and running. I'm not 100% sure if that is a possibility, so we'll just have to wait and see on that, what Disneycruiseline says. Now, the other terminal, and the most important terminal that he mentioned that is under construction, is the Disneycruiseline terminal. So he, of course, mentioned some of the updates, what it looks like, and the photos that he shared with the board there is just breathtaking. So one of the items that has been updated is the drop-off location. So that is like right out front. At one point it was only, I would say, 5 or 6 drop-off locations, so that was definitely a tight space. Now I believe there's about an extra 15 or so, so it's definitely extended. So that's a plus. So definitely will help with the traffic flow when it comes to just dropping off guests. If they use Uber, Lyft, or family members or if they have a private van that they rented, that kind of thing. So that's definitely a plus on the drop-off. And I've seen the traffic, and it can go on forever, or at least it seems like forever. Now, the next little portion that they shared in updates is the security area, as well as the lower, which is the lower area of the terminal. And this is where you go through and make sure that you don't have anything that's not supposed to come on board. So it was so tiny down there, so they have expanded that. So especially with the 90-degree weather that is here in Florida, especially during the summer, it gets hot. I understand completely. I've lived down here for about 15 years now, and it still gets hot. So it's definitely an addition and a plus, because now you get to be inside. The queue line will be a little bit better, and you can be in air conditioning. So major plus on that portion. And the other thing that they have updated, which is now in the terminal upstairs. So if you have cruised with Disney, you know that there was just one entire wall of online check-in. Right, not online check-in, but like the finishing of the check-in that you did online. And this is where you would get your Key to the World cards, your navigator, and if you're a return guest, your lanyard that you get with the Castaway Club level that you're in. So just a few items that you get there. So they removed all of that, and then they replaced it with additional seating. So that's a definite plus. I know from cruising almost 20 years now, that was a definite plus, because it gets crowded, you're really close to your neighbor, and of course if there are meet and greets, or was meet and greets before this pandemic started, you know, the queue line kind of took up a lot of that space because everyone wants to meet Mickey Mouse. Who doesn't? And so that is a definite plus. More seating, more space, and that will definitely help when Disney Cruise Line does start back up and running with social distancing and spacing, things like that. So that's a definite plus. Now, one last little bit that they are still waiting on, but they are ready for it when it arrives, is the gangway, the new gangway. And that is set to arrive in December of 2020 from Spain. Now, where in Spain, I didn't catch that, but it's coming from Spain, and if everything is going according to plan, it should arrive in December. I believe early to mid-December, so that's just a couple of weeks away, so not too far. And once that arrives, they will go ahead and attach that. Now, one plus about this pandemic that CEO and Captain John Murray has mentioned is that there has been no interruptions to the construction of the Disney Cruise Line terminal. With that being said, they should now be done a projection of April 2021. And if they keep everything on schedule or even progress faster, it should either be done by April 2021 or earlier. So that's definitely a plus there. And then the only thing left would be to open her up and let cruises start sailing from Disney Cruise Line Terminal. So that's just all the updates on that. Now, one last little piece of breaking news. Now, this is not in regards to Disney Cruise Line, but last night, the Walt Disney World theme park, Magic Kingdom, from 10 p.m. to midnight last night, did some testing on the fireworks. So that was a definite plus. So that's an exciting portion. That is something a lot of guests are waiting to see come back to the parks. So I hope fireworks do come back at least to the parks and Disney Cruise Line, because that's another thing that Disney Cruise Line is well known for, is the fireworks. But we will just have to wait and see what Disney Cruise Line does for the fireworks and social distancing on that. So that's all the breaking news for today. Alright, cruise nerds, thanks for watching. If you have not done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, as well as follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have faith, trust, and pixie dust. I'll see you real soon on board.